Malaria, according to the UN today, is killing 2 children every minute. 2 children a minute. Take a break from your problems and think about that for just a second. 2 children a minute in the world are dying from malaria, and it kills lots of grown-ups too. With me now is the UN's Special Envoy for Malaria, Ray Chambers. You may know Ray Chambers from some of his other philanthropic work in our area, including his dedication to rebuilding Newark. He is chair of the New Jersey Performing Arts Center there, on the board of Channel 13, and lots of other things. Mr. Chambers, welcome to WNYC.
Thank you. Good morning, Brian.
We don't really have malaria in the United States. Why should Americans care about this?
Well, it really does affect so many people, mostly children under 5, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. And on a humanitarian level, it takes over 1 million lives a year. As you said, 2 every minute. It's killed about 50 million children to date. 3 times last year the number of children who died from HIV/AIDS. But there are some real good reasons. I don't know if you saw the New York Times this morning on the front page. It talked about the Islamic radicals on the border of Kenya. And Jim Jones, the National Security Advisor to President Obama, has said that the incursion into the poor African villages by al-Qaeda and other operatives is such a major problem that what we're doing with malaria, with what other people are doing with HIV/AIDS, TB, hunger, water, does more to ward off terrorism emanating from these African villages than anything militarily.
Explain that. Why would there be a connection between disease prevention and the fight against terrorism?
I think it's part of winning over the hearts of those in Africa and not letting the brainwashing come from al-Qaeda to the leaders in Africa, especially in the small villages. Almost 40% of the children who die from malaria are Muslim.
Malaria is transmitted by a certain type of mosquito. We don't have that species in the United States?
I don't know if we have that type of mosquito in the United States, but the mosquito bites a person with malaria, and there's a parasite in that person's bloodstream, and then the mosquito carries it to somebody else. It's a parasite called falciparum. We don't have that in the United States. The Anopheles mosquito only bites after 10 o'clock at night, and that's why these insecticide-treated mosquito nets are very important, because people are generally in bed, especially children, by 10 o'clock at night.
And you have written that the Secretary General's 2015 eradication goal is not just pie in the sky. It's based on successful interventions in some countries that can be used as a model, correct?
That's correct. In countries like Eritrea, Ethiopia, Zambia, Rwanda, we've reduced malaria deaths by over 50% using these long-lasting insecticide-treated mosquito nets. The other benefit of the net, beyond protecting children and others who sleep under the nets from getting bitten at night, is when the mosquito lands on the net, she dies from the insecticide, and that disrupts the whole Darwinian cycle. So our goal, the Secretary General's goal, is to cover all 700 million people at risk of malaria with these insecticide-treated bed nets by the end of next year, and we've raised over $5 billion toward that goal and are more than 50% toward achieving that.